look at this pack with Burst Lightning and what's it called? The Drake, the 2/3 that flies. Core Skyfisher. Yeah, they say look at this pack with Core Skyfisher and Burst Lightning in it. Say it's pack 4. You know, Zendikar isn't a format to splash in. And I don't like the red signals I've been seeing from the last 3 packs. So while Burst Lightning's the better card, I'm going to take the Core Skyfisher. And as you will see, this was a sick read by me. They'll say stuff like that. And the pack's made up. It's fake. Sometimes they won't say stuff like that. Sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, Disfigure is the easy pick here. And it's just like Disfigure in a pack that from part A and part C. And there's just a Disfigure in the pack. And it's just like, and it's not foil because they actually just cut and paste the draft cap. And it's just like, yeah, I'm taking the Disfigure. That's easy. Look how sick my deck is. And it's just like, yeah, it's really sick to draft from decks that can't exist because the packs did not exist. And yeah. So people are vain assholes on the internet. I don't think nobody on it. I think I checked some of the ones on MTGO videos, and they're not right. And, I mean, they weren't fake or anything. Not even zombie techs. Not even zombie techs were fake, if I recall. So yeah, that's a story about how people are vain on the internet. This is gonna go even longer than the first one. I fail at this. Alright, so for those of you that are done hearing about draft caps and what they do, and the end result, and how people are vain on the internet, which I'm gonna relate the people are vain on the internet story later. So like you can be like, ha! I heard the full story. And exactly how vain people are. But yeah, okay, so there'll be a link underneath this that takes you directly to the draft. Alright. Oh yeah, and stick around if you want to know how I find out the print runs. And if you have a better way to do it, just tell me. I'm not perfect. Anyways, yeah. So, alright, maybe you're still here. For the 3 of you that are still here, here is how I find the print runs. So, I go on this program, you know, we'll say Rise of Eldrazi. Let's click on Rise of Eldrazi. Let's just pretend I clicked on Update Data. The data's updated. I'm not doing it. It takes like 10 seconds. You know, you go to Commons, and you go to Hand of Emrakul. What happens when I click Update Data? Okay, I should do that. Well, the program looks at the folder. No. Looks at this folder, and it goes through each one of these text files, which is inefficient. I should probably separate them by block, which I haven't done. But it goes through each of these text files, says, is this pack in this text file a pack from Rise of Eldrazi? If not, just skip to the next pack. If it is, well, look at each pick. You know, look at each pack in the pack. You know, pick 1, pack 1. Pick 2, pack 2. Alright. Because, like, okay, so how would it do it? Well, it says, oh, look, Rise of Eldrazi there. Alright, I can continue. If it doesn't say Rise of Eldrazi, I'm pretty sure I have it set up to just skip the entire text file. If not, it definitely skips right to here. And then it's like, is that Rise of Eldrazi? Yeah. Okay, but it is. So it's Rise of Eldrazi. So what does it do? It says, hey, look, all these cards. There should be one more card here. It's a foil. Yeah. It says, hey, look. Okay, so I got a pack. Make a new pack. Add a Demonic Appetite to it. Oh, foil. Ignore it. Naturalize. Eldrazi's Inscription. Forkbolt. Shrivel. Add all these to it. Alright, that's a pack. Put that in the pack library, which is just the library that keeps track of the pack. Alright, pick one pack 2. Make a new pack. Add this and that and that. And, Okay, do that 8 times. And then, wait, pack 9 is the same. Let's just skip to here. And blah, blah, blah. Do that. And do that. And so, yeah, so it saves them, and then it puts them in the pack library. And it does that for every text file. And so, and then it saves that as... Don't save. Then it goes here, and then it says, oh, Rise of Eldrazi, save draft data dot pack collection. And it saves it. And this is all the draft data, 147 kilobytes. Yeah, so tiny. Not in text form. It's in just data form. All right, so it saves it here. All right. And so then I go to this program, and I go, load Rise of Eldrazi. Bam. And it says, all right, we'll load commons by default. And no card by default. Yeah. Interesting. And then what happens? It loads reload data, technically. So what does that do? It takes this little file here, and it loads it. But wait, we defaulted to commons, so it filters out commons from the pack. And actually, yeah, okay, that's not what's going on here. And then it does a whole, okay, so it filters out commons from the pack. It gives you a list of all the commons here. And then it does some logic. This is the complicated. This is sort of like the meat and the bones of what the program does. So it takes the first pack, and I should not have closed. I should go find a Rise of Eldrazi draft again. Awkward. No. I'll pause. All right. So it finds another Rise of Eldrazi draft. So it takes the data, and so let's just say it's at this part of the data, which right now just looks like Kabir Vindicator Naturalize. That's all it remembers. And it says, well, okay. For instance, it's comment. It says, hey, look, there's a Naturalize in this pack. And there's a Luminous Wake and a Snake Umbra, and for each of the comments it says, all these comments, remember that for Naturalize, all these other comments appear in the pack with it. And for Luminous Wake, or I guess not Luminous Wake, Snake Umbra, all these other cards appear in the pack with it. Just remember that. Just remember that and save that, and just remember that you're looking at the Naturalize and all these other cards appear with it. And so, say it comes to another Naturalize in the pack, in a different pack. Well, it checks to see, well, is there anything I haven't seen with a Naturalize in this pack? Oh, if there is, I should add it. If not, well, I've already got it, so I don't need to add it again. And so, at the end of the first step of the process, it will have looked through all the draft data, and it has a list of a card and all the other cards that appear with that card. So that's where we are right now. So we've got this card Naturalize, and we have all the other cards that appear with that card. And you could probably fund the print run from that. Because you could just sort of line it up, and eventually the cards that appear in the print run with it will sort of filter together, because they'll appear in like a chunk, and the ones that aren't in the print run, well, they'll just sort of be random noise. But maybe there's an easier way to do it. What cards wouldn't appear in the pack with a Naturalize? Well, the print run's like a circle, because it just keeps running. So if Naturalize is on one end, cards on the opposite side of it won't show up in the same pack as it. Huh, how about that? And maybe not all the cards that don't show up with it, aren't in the print run with it, because there might be some that just never appear together, like C1 and C2. I guess that's what these are called. A and B here. These never show up together. But that wouldn't matter, because if you had a list of all the cards in the print run with it, you could filter out the pack, and if they never showed up, it wouldn't show up. So it wouldn't actually affect you when you were finding it. Interesting. So then the program says, okay, well, now I've got a list of Naturalize and all the cards that appear with Naturalize. Let's reverse it. Let's make this list Naturalize and all the cards that don't appear with Naturalize. That's what it does. And then it thinks, okay, well, what about the times when I don't have perfect data? Because maybe I don't have enough draft caps. Maybe I don't have enough draft caps, and at some point in time, one of the cards on this list does appear with Naturalize. That would be kind of awkward. That would be kind of awkward, just because that would make things wrong that would mislead you into thinking that. And why would it do that? Let's just find naturalize. But then you think, well, actually, since the print runs are different sizes, might be different sizes, they are, you know, but even if they weren't different sizes, well, okay, yeah, I guess if they weren't different sizes it wouldn't work, but they are different sizes, you know, and so, well, you'd think that if naturalize has a list of 6 cards that it doesn't appear with, well, the cards that should be on this list should have a similar number of cards they don't appear with. Because 2 cards in the same print run can't have wildly different numbers of cards they don't appear with. Because otherwise the print run would just be not a print run. So then you say, well, okay, well, maybe they're within 5. There's usually one that screws that up, but let's just say 5. And so now you've got a list of naturalize, and all the cards that don't appear with naturalize, and have a similar number of cards that don't appear with them. They're just like, this is a pretty good thing to look at if you're gonna try to figure out the print run. And so what's this list here? Well, this is a list of all the packs that I've looked at so far, showing only these cards. And removing duplicates. And if I want, I can filter by card. And so it only shows the cards with naturalize in it. Yeah. And so what can I do with that? Well, if I have enough draft caps, I'll just have most of them. And they'll just piece together like a puzzle really easily. If I don't have enough draft caps, some of them will be missing. And some of them will be wrong. The wrong ones you can usually figure out because they just will be impossible to fit in. But say I don't have any wrong ones, which happens at around 60 draft caps. You get enough data that statistically you're gonna have like one wrong one. I think for the longest time I didn't have a pack that had the life gain ally and a burst lightning in it, and then someone just gave me a draft cap. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna be. I knew it was gonna appear eventually because it's clear the packs couldn't work any other way. And then eventually I just saw it. It was like, yeah, okay, I knew that was happening. But let's just say you've got this data, like, okay, yeah, all right, this list of all the cards, you know. Oh wait, no, actually, that's wrong. This is actually a list. Oh, sorry. All right, so I did that wrong. Okay, yeah, whatever. If you listen this long, actually, after you have the list of the cards that don't appear with it, you look at the list for all cards on that list. Yeah, whatever. Okay, maybe I'll edit out the other part. But for all cards, so they look at naturalize. Look at all the cards that don't appear with it. Filter out the ones with a high number. So no, yeah, I did it right. So okay, after you filter out the ones that don't have a close enough number to it, for each card left on that list, check out its list. And add all the cards that have a similar number to it and naturalize. And then for the next one, do it. And then for all the cards on that list, do it. And then you'll have a new list. And then for all the ones you haven't checked yet, do it again. And then once you've checked everything, and then once there's no new checks to make, stop. And that's what this list is. That's what this list is. This list is a check, and then a check, and then a check and make a list. And then for each thing on that list, make a check and make a new list. And then for each thing on that list, if you have to make a new check, make a check and make a list. It's a very good thing to do with a computer. And then you get this list. And then once you have enough draft caps, you'll have enough little nuggets like this, segments. And then if you've got a lot of them, they just cut and paste like an hour and a half maybe to find out like most of the print runs. If you don't have enough, you're going to be missing some. That does not mean you can't find the print run just because you're missing some. Because sometimes there'll be like logical jumps you can make. Like, since I know that unless I'm doing it by hand, it's really hard to actually exemplify what I mean. Okay, here's an example of one that I've actually completed. Like, you're not missing the jump, but like when they line up like this, what does this tell you? Well, this tells you shrivel. Like, just say I had these two. I had 2 segments and they lined up like this. What does that mean? Well, that means that if these are together, shrivel is definitely here. And